Morning, Saturday. Right, some of my cards, my scraping plastic cards, look, spare new cards ready to be chopped up as and when. Palette loaded with paint from last night now. It's still a bit soft, so I'll be careful with that. So there's lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. 2-inch hake, which I have several in various stages of decay, and I've got an inch one here which I've never used, but I don't think I've ever used it. This is the original Ron Ranson hake, but the smaller version with a metal ferrule. I've never tried it. The hairs on these newer style hakes are longer than the old ones. That's a 3-inch hake. Look, you can see how much longer the new versions are. It's quite a substantial amount. So there we are. There's an ordinary 2-inch hake. It's got little wedges in the side to keep the bristles in. These ones haven't, which means that you don't have that little bit that will get in and scratch your painting. So I haven't used this one either. So I'll use that one because that's still damp from yesterday. Now what I was thinking of was another gorge sort of painting. Because I'm right-handed, the weight of my pictures tends to be on the right. That's where I always start, so I don't seem to start that side. And if I was left-handed, because I'd start the other side. So I want to keep the symmetry out of the painting as far as I can. In other words, don't repeat on the left what you've done on the right. Vary, vary, vary. So we can do some steep sides down here. But I was thinking of putting a bit of a lake across here, and then a bit of a rocky stream going into it or coming out of it, and then put some mountains in the distance and have something like that. So that's larger than that. The centre of interest, I'll try and concentrate here, third in, third up. Something like that. So that's all the drawing. What I'm doing with my skies at the moment, and I'm pinching this from a favourite artist of mine, who's sadly no longer with us, Isabel Castle. Have a look online, Google Isabel, and have a look at her beautiful Kent scenes. She uses red in the top underneath her other washes, but she wasn't working almost upright as I am for demonstration purposes. In fact, all of my paintings are a demonstration for a group or for YouTube, are so that people can actually see. And I haven't organised a boom yet for my tripod that would have the camera in front of me above my head looking down. That way I can have a 30-degree board, but at the moment we're starting with about 80 degrees. But it's fine. I'm using Fabriano paper, £130 weight, blocks of 100 from Grantham's, about £30 for 100 sheets, plus postage, which is very, very good. So there we are. Now I can put some trees, my favourite bits of overhanging trees in here, and some figures climbing up here, or walking up there. So I'll wet the paper all over. Now in Europe we've got the last games in the Six Nations Rugby Championship, which we don't miss, well I don't miss. Usually watch all the games with friends. Always have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and cakes and things. You don't have booze or anything. So any one out of 4 of the 6 teams that are in the championship can win. And we're playing France today. Right, enough of that. Right, so I'll put a bit of raw sienna in, my new raw sienna there, just to warm up. My paper's just a bit wet, but of course all over there. And now I'm going to put this light red across the top. So I use 2 reds, but the alizarin crimson, but I don't use a lot of that for some reason. And I'll just put that in the water there. Just a hint of it. And now I can put in a bit of blue with that. So I've got my nice clouds. Needs to be a bit stronger than that. Oh, there we are. So we've got our nice cloudy sky going across there. And that red will shine through, I hope. So we'll just put that heavier cloud across there in the water. That will do for that. Okay, so I'll give that a bit of a dry. So if you're listening on headphones, take the headphones off. Sorry if I'm waggling. I'll reclip the paper first. I just want to take the shine off the paper now so I can get in with my background. But it's a bit too wet at the moment with all that water I put in the top. I hope a lot of you are trying this hake. It does some wonderful things, and there's a lot of fun, but it can also be very frustrating. I'll mix a bit of alizarin with that, with the blue, for my background, just a touch. Okay. So that will be my recession, my blue in the distance, and we'll have a bit of warmer colour in there. And I can embellish the background of that. Bit of yellow, bit of green, bluey green in there. That's the horizon. And I can put some trees on there and some little bits of detail in the distance. So now I'm going to strengthen up with my some heavier stuff here. Mix a bit of burnt sienna in. Put some lemon yellow in there. Then where my rocks are going to go. Remember, when you're painting on wet, you need thicker paint. Otherwise it'll just vanish into the background. Right, so let's get in some good colours in here, good warm. My paint's moving, look, because it's soft. Look, see the sounds of the burnt sienna, the raw sienna. Right, let's get the card. Now, I'll just flatten the paper. I'm going to etch out some rocks. I did this on the painting yesterday. If you can see that, I'm just adding some light detail on this slope here, like a bit of scree. Just a little bit of I hope this will show up on the camera. There we are. So we've just added just a little bit of in there. So now we can do some on here now. I was thinking of using a card to paint my sheep. I'm going to put lots of brush like gorse and stuff in there. So that's my rock there. I'm going to put some in here. Quite hard. And I can put some detail, some shadow back in there. Well, that basically is just too steep for sheep. Right, so that's my right hand side. I'm going to strengthen this up with the shrubbery stuff. Sorry slurping, I'm drinking my cup of tea. Right, I'll do a bit of that background before I go on to this side here. How we do it? Yep, that's all right. So, bit of blue and a bit of sienna, burnt sienna. When your hake splits, just sort of bring it back together by dipping it in some bit of water or a bit of paint. I don't want this to be too obvious. So we've got the best of both worlds here. We've got apart from the tumbling stream, we've got okay, see how delicate you can go with this brush. It's got so many facets. Okay, we can put some harder stuff in there now. But this is on the blue side of warm. I'm mixing it with burnt sienna. That's my favourite colour mix. You can also do it with burnt umber, but I want some nice, just a little bit of warm in there, look. Just a burnt sienna. You can put a bit of raw sienna in there if you wish, just to vary, but there's plenty of blue in there to give the distance. Okay, it's a little bit symmetrical, so I'll just make this side just a little bit more prominent. Right, now we'll put a little bit of greeny blue in the background. Right, now a bit of blue now. Right, there we are. Look, if that works, we've got all that distance. Got a bit wrong there. I can go over that with a bit stronger later. Right, I need a dryer cloth now. So I'll put that one up there to dry it. I'll get another one. This is my magic. Just waiting in the wings. So. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, just add them in a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. Right, I'll put some stuff in there now. Right, we've got the sweep of the water to take into consideration there. So let's just get this rocky feel in there. Right, now get some good colours in there now. Some reds, blues, siennas. Get a nice bit of yellow in there. I want that dark there just to separate the nice bit of light. Right, okay, let's do a bit of etching now. Bit of scraping out. That could have been a bit stronger, I think, but so let's just scrape down here. Right, I'm going to put some shadow on some of this here, a bit of red and a bit of blue. Bit of sienna. So this just gives the shadow side of these rocks here. Now I'm using what I call a high key palette. No grey, paint grey. Again, lots of reds. Right, okay. Right. Okay, so just want to do something with that there on the horizon there. It's where I lost it there. So just a bit of burnt sienna and blue. Okay, so there we are. I just want to lift a little bit out here. Right, so it's light against dark, light against dark. Now let's put in some heavy trees hanging onto the side of that cliff there. A bit more blue in that. It's just a bit too warm. It's such a simple thing to do, but it's so sort of therapeutic. Putting these bits of detail in with a hake. Or whatever you use, it doesn't really matter, does it? Whatever makes some art, basically. So let's put some in here. So a bit of silence now. That needs to be really dark on there. Because I changed my mind. Okay, so we're going a little bit further with the shrubbery than normal. dark green now. Just adding a little bit of red with this yellow now as we come closer to us. Just warm up. Bit of orange. Right, okay, so that will do for there. I think probably just a little bit too light on that bit of the rock there, so we're going to alter that. Just get that nice and dark there. Alright, so that separates the back from the front from that. Well, it does from where I am. Now some texture on this side. So this seems to be slightly closer, so we'll use red in with the mix of green. Brush is too wet, so just take off some of the moisture. Put in some shadow. Nice dark shadow. And then we can put in some it's getting nice and dark now. Don't know where I'm going to put my figures, but I'm going to let that go, you know, apart from the water. I'm mixing loads of warm colours in here, so right, I think that's come out really nice there, but that's just my view. I'll just clean my brush here. Now, I'm going to dry all this here and I'll sort out how I'm going to do that water. I need to put in some rocks. I forgot to do those, so we'll just have the usual colour: blue, red, umber, sienna. card. Right, I'll dry that off, so headphones off. And get some sky colour, or some darker colour, just to show the tumbling water. So blue, greeny. And have dark. Right, I'll just try to show the background reflecting in this tumbling stream. There wouldn't be a lot of whites, I've decided, because it's moving and moving. It's showing all facets of the reflection. This will be fairly calm water here, so I reckon that we'll get just a bit of dry brush there with the blue and the red to show the sky. So right, that'll do for that. Now we'll do the blotting trick. A bit of clean tissue. This is where we put the detail in now. I'll put a couple of little sails in the background. Good device this, just lifting out a little bit of sail. Don't have to overdo it, but that's enough. That just shows that that is water really, rather than putting a label on it. Now, there's a couple of figures I think. We'll find a figure brush. It's got some hairs on it. Well, here's one. This should do. I'll put some figures just climbing up here. So. These are quite easy to do, these figures. They're not specimens, they're not portraits, they're just objects in a landscape really, to give a bit of scale. Second. Just to show a bit of scale. It's the only reason. Oh, and there are objects on the landscape, of course. So we'll put this one in here. Soaking up the hill. The tendency is to put the heads on too large. Like I just have done there. I'll blot him out. Put his head back. He's probably just a little bit large, so I'll show a little bit of a reflection of him. So I think that head's just a little touch too big. Anyway, we'll put the birds in. They always go in, boys. Okay, I'll sign that and we'll have a look, see what it says in amounts. I reckon the blue mount will be better on that. Well, there we are. We've got another gorge on the way to the lake. I think this is reasonably effective. It's a little bit messy there. Probably the paper was just a little bit too wet for that. The background is quite reasonable. I hope it gives the distant effect and the misting, general misting going off into the hills beyond. I think this could have been darker. It hasn't given me the contrast between light and dark that I was hoping for. But there are bits that I do like. This edge here is effective, as is that there. And I haven't done any, but I could do, couldn't I? Put some dark. I'll just put some dark branches going up there. So blue and sienna. Just not a lot, just some little flicks and flurries. That'll do. Could fiddle around with it forever. Right, okay, so let's bring the camera close and we'll zoom in. And we'll have a little look. Well, there's the distance. Let's come down. So I've put fields and hedgerows in. And right, let's come up to the top of that one. And go round. It's always jerky. And then we'll come across the tumbly stream. And up that side, up the hill. Then we'll have a look at the men going up the hill, or the women. So there's my lake beyond and a rocky stream going to or fro from it. So there we are. Let's come out and well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.